Yo, what is going on, everybody? It is your boy Dylan, the fantasy guru here, bringing you guys my week 3 lineup for the NFL. And last week we literally placed 1 point outside of our 50-50. That was pretty devastating. I had some guys that left the game early that should have gone big numbers. One of them being Carlos Hyde. He left the game with, I don't really remember what it was. I think it was like a concussion or something. He left in like the second quarter, and he could have gotten us way more points. Austin Seferian-Jenkins left the game, as all you guys know, he's out for this week. And then, Julio got ruled down at the 1. That could have been a touchdown. So, we definitely had a lot of scenarios where we could have gotten a lot more points. But, stuff happens. Week 2 was kind of weird for fantasy-wise. But, for DFS this week, I'm going to be making a cash lineup. So, you guys can go ahead and tell me what you think of it below. I'm going to be making it right now, going over my picks and everything. So, at QB this week, we're actually going to go really low so we can bulk up on other positions. And someone I really like this week is Tyrod Taylor. And, the reason I like him so much is that he can get you passing numbers, as you saw him do last week in that comeback, or that try, he tried to get a comeback against New England. And, he fell short. But, he did put up 4 touchdowns, 3 passing, 1 on the run. We had a lot of rushing yards last week. And, I think against this Miami defense, we can easily pick them apart and easily get, 80 yards on the ground, maybe a rushing touchdown, and then easily he can get 250 plus yards and 2 touchdown passes. And with the $7,000 price tag, it's going to be going up. But I definitely see the value this week, and he can easily get his value as long as he's not throwing 3 interceptions like he did last week. So that's what I'm going to be doing at quarterback. And at running back this week, I was thinking, I was looking at AP against the Chargers defense. I'm definitely going to stay away from Le'Veon Bell this week. I know Mike Tomlin said he'd be getting a lot of the he'd be a workhorse this week and he'd be getting a lot of carries, but I'm not quite there yet with him. I want to see how he does. I think he'll be splitting some carries with D'Angelo Williams. Not much, but I still think it's enough to take away from his fantasy value at 8,800. So, this week I'm going to be going with Jamaal Charles against a weak Green Bay rush defense. I think it's going to be absolutely great. I think he's going to get a lot of touches. He's going to get 100 plus rushing yards, and I could easily see him getting 5 receptions for 50 plus yards with receiving. And I could see him possibly putting up 2 touchdowns this week, 1 rushing, 1 receiving. So I'm really liking Jamaal Charles this week, and I would definitely suggest you guys go out and try and put him into your lineup and make space for him. And with Jamaal Charles, we're gonna also want a lot of good receivers. So we're gonna kind of go down the running back list a little bit. I know a guy this week that has the potential to blow up. And you want to know what his name is? His name is Jonathan Stewart. Now, you guys might be wondering, Jonathan Stewart, he gets a lot of touches. He's that number 1 running back for the Carolina Panthers. And, he gets a lot of touches, but he really doesn't do anything with them. So, let's go ahead and click on him. Let's go ahead and see what he's been doing. See, 35 carries through 2 games with only 118 rushing yards, 5 receptions for 22 yards. So, you're thinking, that's not smart. But, this week, he definitely could go big. As you guys see, he had 1 reception last week for -3 yards, and then he had 4 receptions for 25. But then, look, 17 carries last week and 18 carries in week 1. So, he definitely is getting a lot of touches. He's just off to a slow start. He's 28, kind of getting old, not really. But, in his rookie seasons, he also, he was just amazing. I loved using him. That's when I first started playing fantasy football. And I want you to look at this. Last year against the New Orleans defense, he had 20 carries, so basically what he's getting now for 155 yards and a touchdown. That's 21 Fanduel points right there. So, you have to look at what he's done historically against the division rivals, Saints defense. And, he always picks them apart. I'm a Panthers fan. I'm definitely liking the 6,500 value. So, to reach value, he really doesn't have to do that much. But, I'm really liking him, so we have some money to play around with here, as we did take a cheaper quarterback and a cheaper running back. So, at wide receiver number 1, you guys got to know I'm going with my boy Antonio Brown. I really don't have to say why I'm going with him. Just gets so many targets, so many receptions, puts up a lot of yards. Had a touchdown in both weeks, and last week he actually snagged a 2-point conversion on the first drive of the game. So, I'm definitely liking what Mike Tomlin's doing there, kind of being sneaky. So, I hope maybe he might be able to pull out another 2-point conversion. That'd be nice. But, it's just something to play around with. And for our wide receiver number 2, we are going with the guy with the most receptions in the league, being Julian Edelman against this Jacksonville Jaguars defense. With the with a $7,700 value, he's definitely worth it. I definitely see Edelman being one of the top tier receivers this year. So don't be surprised if he has another great week and he reaches that $8,000 value. I definitely wouldn't be surprised. Maybe even up there with, Calvin Johnson, Demaryius Thomas. I could easily see that because, he's getting a lot of targets, a lot of receptions with that depleted Patriots basically receiver core. And, I'm definitely liking him. Tom Brady's just putting up a lot of numbers. Patriots are out to prove everyone wrong about them. Reigning Super Bowl champs. That's all I got to say against a Jacksonville Jaguars defense. They've been making small strides, but there's definitely not one of the elite defenses. And for wide receiver number 3 this week, we're going to go down just a little bit, and we're going to go ahead and pick up. Where is he at? Oh, there he is. Pierre Garcon. Now, the Giants this year have the worst pass defense in the league. They've given up over 700 yards passing this year. And, I just really like what Pierre Garcon has been able to do. He led the Redskins in targets and receptions last week. And, I really like him. He led them against the Rams. And, this year, I think that was my brother just walked by. But, I'm liking what he's doing. 12 receptions. He has a rushing touchdown. Receiving yards aren't quite there. But, against this Giants pass defense that has just been terrible this year, I definitely like what he can do. And then that's pretty much all I got to say about Pierre Garcon. I'm liking the value I get out of him. And for tight end this week, most people are going to go down here for like Kyle Rudolph or where's he at? Eric Ebron. Because, Eric Ebron, he has 96 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns. He's put up 2 touchdowns in both games. They also like Kyle Rudolph is what I'm saying a lot of people do. I really don't know why. Maybe just because he's a red zone target, but I don't really know. I just like Tyler Eifert this week. I guess I just kind of ruined it there before we could even get to him. But, Tyler Eifert, he's consistent. Like, a lot of people thought he was a fluke in week 1 where he grabbed those 2 receiving touchdowns. But, I just really like Tyler Eifert as he has 13 receptions, 153 receiving yards, and 3 touchdowns. I mean, that's value right there. And for how much is Gronk going for this week? And for for $2,500 cheaper than Gronk, I definitely like Tyler Eifert. They've been putting up similar numbers. I mean, Gronk's definitely better. He's been putting up better numbers. Don't get me wrong or anything. Tyler Eifert, he's not too low. He's not super high like Kelsey or Gronk or anything. So, I'm definitely liking the value I'm getting out of him. I could easily see him getting like 75 yards and a touchdown this week. So, that's all good at my tight end position. And then for kickers and defense, we're not going to spend any money here. Of course, we're going to be going for, where's he at? Josh Brown against the Redskins. Now, the Redskins, believe it or not, like on paper, have they are the best defense in the league so far this year. So, I could easily be seeing them get down the field and, not being able to convert and bring in Josh Brown in. And you guys have known, I just want you guys to see Josh Brown to see he's not a fluke. 6 field goals, 6 field goal attempts, 4 extra points, 4 extra point attempts. He's completely perfect this year. And I want you to look at his game log. Look, he had 17 points week 1 against Dallas. Then last week he had 9 points against Atlanta. He's consistent, and I'm really going to like that. I've bought into him completely. He was 4,500 every week so far, and he's 4,500 again this week. So I'm definitely liking him in my lineup. And then for my defense this week, this might be a surprise pick because I haven't seen too many people doing it. I'm going with the New York Jets defense. They've produced 10 turnovers so far this season, and I really, really, really like that. And going against a Philly offense, it's been struggling. You guys saw it last week against Dallas. That game was just absolutely, completely ugly. Like, it wasn't good at all. I watched it. DeMarco had a hard time starting up, and he didn't really even start up. Bradford. It was just ugly, guys. I watched that game. I was at a friend's house, and I don't talk about it. I really don't like it. But, New York Jets defense, they're looking very, very nice. They're one of the best defenses in the league right now, and, I'm really liking them against the Eagles. But, that is my lineup. No salary remaining, so you really can't play around with it too much if you're going with this exact lineup. But, this lineup is for my cash games this week. I'm in 2. And, I'm going to try and pull in some cash this week. Last week I fell right outside the 50-50. But, it's all good. I think I'm going to be getting some money this week. I really like the sign-up. If you guys have any changes I should make to the sign-up, go ahead and let me know down in the comment section below. Also, let me know what you think. Let me know what your picks are, because I'd really like to see what you guys have in mind. You know, what's flowing in your brains for Fanduel this week. But, I really hope you guys did enjoy today's video. If you guys did, please drop a like. It really does help my channel out. Subscribe if you guys are new, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace. I'm out.